There's been a lot of mass shootings in the 3 years almost that I've been streaming. 3-year anniversary coming up in August, by the way. And this one hits different. This one hits different. It hits different because it kind of has exposed every single talking point of the right about mass shootings has just been completely annihilated. And it feels like if we had a single leader left of center who had a position of authority, we could actually do change. But we're not going to because we don't. Sorry. But we're going to take a deeper dive into this mass shooting because the story is so unbelievable that even those of you like me who despise cops, who despise the police in America, are going to be shocked. No matter how low of an opinion you had of cops, no matter how much you've internalized the leftist description of police as the enforcers of capital, oppressors of minorities, you are going to absolutely lose your fucking mind when you hear what actually happened. Reality is worse than the most virulent anti-cop anarchist. It is, chat, we're in a dangerous moment because I can feel, and I don't know, I don't want to ask you this, chat. I can feel kind of, I'm a conscious separation happening between me and amongst us. It feels like you're in a relationship that's ending. Have you ever broken up with someone, chat? And by the end, you keep them around, and then by the end, you're like, your heart, you just know in your core that you're done with them. And you're just sitting back and contemplating, okay, like, do I ask my dad or my friends to help me move out? How much is the U-Haul? Like, you're planning on it. Like, it's not even a question anymore. You're just like, okay, how do I break it to them in the way that'll be the least harmful and least drama-inducing? Like, should I have some other people around? Should I do it in public? Like, should I pack my stuff while they're out? Like, you're totally there's no shot that you're staying with the person. But you're worried about their emotional volatility. You're worried about your shit. You're worried about the logistics of the breakup. That's what it feels like in America. That's what it feels like to me. Maybe I'm alone on that. Maybe I'm going crazy, but I don't think that the American system can fix itself at this point because we've checkmated ourselves. The lead poisoning of the boomer brain combined with a political class that's necrotic. It's a thanatocracy. We're ruled by the dead. They're literally walking dead. Dianne Feinstein, her continuing to draw breath is an insult against God. She's that old. Look, I'm from Hungary. Look what's happening here. Bro, I think you guys are the preview of what's happening. Conservatives have no solution for the mass shootings. Their solution is take it. Let's watch their 50 solutions. Let's watch the 50 solutions Fox News has proposed.
I advocate always for an armed security guard.
Armed school.
They were there. And Uvalde School District had a active shooter plan. They had armed guards. They had police. It happened.
School safety officer.
Armed deputy.
Arming teachers.
Potentially arm and prepare and train teachers and other administrators.
Armed.
Wait a minute. Are teachers supposed to charge into the room with the shooter? Meanwhile, it takes the police 50 minutes to gather up the courage to rush a room? What, the teachers are supposed to do it? What, the teachers are supposed to quick draw? You understand that even if, let's say that teachers are all armed. Let's leave aside all of the stupidity of the, of like what that would mean. Like, accidental shootings, teachers shooting students because they get in a physical confrontation with their students, which happens frequently. Some teachers sometimes have to put their hands on students, and the students even hit the teacher. It's been known to happen, chat. Can you just imagine a racist white teacher with a gun shooting a black student in quote self-defense? Great. Let's leave all that aside. Let's pretend that doesn't happen. That the guns stay in a secure safe and they only pneumatically get shot into the hand of the teacher when an active school shooting's happening. Otherwise, the guns are totally secured and safe. All right? Hijinks says, Mike, teachers are pedophile groomers that are making our kids trans with CRT. We must arm them. Let's leave that aside. Even in the situation where the teacher is armed, presumably with a pistol, not a rifle. I guess teachers aren't going to be walking around with MP5s and AR-15s. So let's just assume that teachers are armed with a pistol. What are they going to do? Quick draw and exchange gunfire with the fucking school shooter? What's the plan here? The MP5 isn't a rifle? No shit. I said that's why I used the phrase or. It's supposed to be absurdist. You know, a military submachine gun armed kindergarten teacher is supposed to be absurd. You fucking dummy. Anyway, moving on. But in America, it's not. What are they supposed to do? Get into a gunfight? Remember, cops who are trained and want to carry a gun only have a hit rate of 17 to 18% in an active shooter situation. What will the teachers be? 5%? They will hit kids more than the bad guys. Chat, very few people are psycho enough to want to carry guns. Even airline pilots, which are some of the most highly trained, and many airline pilots, a significant fraction of airline pilots, are former high-level military officers, at least staff-level military officers, okay? Many of them were fighter pilots or pilots in the military, trained with weapons. Even those people don't want to carry fucking guns all the time in the cockpit. Now you're going to make kindergarten teachers carry guns? Are you fucking crazy? At the most, according to atlasblue.com. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It's somewhere around 10%. More than 1 in 10 of the nation's airline pilots are cleared to carry a handgun. So those are the people that are cleared. Say it's a quarter. What? So therefore, even if what are you going to do? You think teachers are going to be armed at a higher rate than airline pilots? It's incredibly fucking stupid.
School staffers.
Bring in policemen.
Training the students themselves.
Retired military.
Oh my God! Sacha Baron Cohen was right! They want kindergartens! Oh my God, you can't even fucking parody that! They want kindergartens! That was supposed to be comedic relief! We watched Kindergartens yesterday, Dennis. He wants kindergartens! I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Themselves.
Retired military. Retired law enforcement. We can offer.
The active duty law enforcement was there, and they not only did they not act, Chad, it's worse. Yesterday, I told you about how police hide and run, and it's happened in every school shooting. There was a list compiled in 2018 of how the school shootings did end. Do you want to see this? This is going to be dark. I'm sorry that it's so dark. I'm sorry that it is what it fucking is.
For them tax breaks.
If you give law enforcement the opportunity to impose martial law, we can guarantee safety and security.
Securing that perimeter, providing kind of a ring of steel.
You have the fences, you have the main administration building, and then you have wide gaps on either side. The fencing's not very high.
They literally want to turn schools into castles? Yeah, chat, so we're gonna, America is just gonna be parking lots and apparently moats. We'll have one building every square mile.
Were the doors locked? Bulletproof glass. All of these shootings.
The doors were locked. That's why the police couldn't get in. There was a locked door. Oh no, we couldn't get in. They had to have a staffer come unlock the classroom that they put the shooter in. It's martial law, chat, but importantly, it's martial law without gun control. Because I can tell you, when you do martial law, the first thing you want is a bunch of people that are not part of the chain of command carrying weapons and walking around. That's the first element of martial law, is let everybody carry weapons and arms, just wander around. You have no civil rights, but you can keep your gun. That's what martial law means. Bulletproof glass. How are kids getting into the fucking classroom? Transporters?
Things have happened at the same time that we see religion and Christian values and Judeo-Christian values declining.
Anybody who decides that they want to do something like this should immediately know that attacking a school is a death sentence for them.
Kids are afraid of being the school snitch.
We have to stop.
They know that, motherfucker. They know that, motherfucker.
Letting these schools be gun-free zones.
Stop letting schools be gun-free zones. That way, when school shooters bring a gun to school, they can't be criminally charged until they actively start shooting people. Oh, you have your gun in your school? Oh, I'm sorry, that's your Second Amendment right. That's your second. Oh, you're pointing that gun at a student? Second Amendment. Second Amendment. Oh, you're shooting the students. Oh, okay. Well, now we're going to stop you. The NRA convention is a gun-free zone.
People need to put their phones down and get to know the person next to them.
We have spent billions of dollars on COVID-related measures for
He went to an elementary classroom. He's 18. What are the 6-year-olds supposed to give him therapy?
schools. Let's take some of that money and divert it over to hardening these soft targets.
A lot of these private schools, they take security way more serious.
Parents, take your children to church.
This anti-police narrative is forcing people not to call police.
A series of interlocking doors at the school entrance that are triggered by a tripwire, and it traps the shooter like a rat.
God is the answer to that.
There's a moral rot going on that we all need to dig in and try to address.
I vote for decreasing social media exposure.
We need to start focusing on mental health.
Tell us why you think it's important to pray in a moment like this.
It calls for faith and prayer.
Why is it that schools are protected in the same way that airports?
There are some people who don't want police officers in schools with guns because other people are triggered.
Assault rifle and enhanced body armor.
A notification system to let everybody in the school know what's happening.
Single point of entry.
I don't like talking about this stuff as it happens because I don't think it contributes anything positive.
Parents should be held accountable for raising their children properly.
Ballistic blankets.
We just don't have the resources to get law enforcement there quickly.
How about an executive order?
40%.
For these mental health facilities.
We have to start rebuilding this country and returning to God.
I arm myself everywhere I legally can.
It's up to you to protect yourself.
I inhaled some bread that I was eating. 40% of the Uvalde city budget was on cops. They had a 12-person SWAT team. Cops when dealing with black people. Attention, African-American 5-year-old, drop the toy or we will shoot. You have an obligation to like, comment, and subscribe.